Well, 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 it finally happened, huh? This is why we can't have good things. We can't... the jokes are over. Man, they're really putting an original game character into this game, huh? They made this character just for Rebirth of Souls? Damn, I never thought they would make the training dummy playable. Okay, I'm done with the jokes. Here's Renji, finally. They're finally putting out a trailer for Renji. Signature moves and some spiritual pressure moves. That's what we're going to see here. I don't think this is the type of character that will get... Yeah, I knew this was going to happen. I don't think this is the type of character that is going to get a reawakening. So he's going to go Awakening Bankai, completely change the playstyle, hopefully. Because, yeah, his weapon completely changes too. So he just gets a brand new moveset here. That is so... That is so big! Bro, I'm in shock right now. The thing with gigantic attacks like this, or gigantic swords or characters or whatever, is that often they will cheat. You know, they'll make it bigger than normal, but they'll be like, yeah, not as big as it would actually be. But here it's just like, fuck it. This gives me hope for giant characters, for Komomura and Yami. I think those guys might actually have some giant stuff in them too after seeing this. But let's break down Renji and what he does in this game. Signature move is Sweep, a large cleave attack using Zabimaru that can be used up to a total of 3 consecutive attacks. Powerful one-sided attack that can be executed from a range that is comparable with projectiles. So extremely lore accurate signature move. By the way, signature moves are moves that do not consume any kind of meter. You can just pull them off anytime you want. And it's lore accurate because you can do it up to 3 times. This is the first weakness that Ichigo noticed when fighting against Renji. He does the attack 3 times and then he has to retract the sword, which gives him an opening, or the enemies an opening to attack him. And you can see that opening right here after the 3 attacks are done. That seems to be a big recovery animation. That said, from the description, it sounds like you can use it up to 3 times. Doesn't mean you have to use the 3 times. So you have to keep the opponent guessing, and that's how you avoid getting punished after using the signature move. Spiritual pressure move 1, Tsumuji Kaze. Renji spins his body while extending Zabimaru to sweep the area. After the attack hits, it knocks the opponent, allowing Renji to get into a favorable mid-range. I believe we saw this move during the announcement trailer, so I was expecting this to be one of his spiritual moves, and it very much looks like it's a get away from me type move. Renji loves that mid-range because his sword allows him to attack opponents from that long range, from that mid-range, right? He's got a big sword, he doesn't want opponents to be that close to him, so this is kind of a get away from me type move that will put opponents back into that mid-range where he can pull off his signature move more comfortably. That said, if you watch the very start of this trailer, you'll see that despite Zabimaru's range, his light attacks still very much work in the close range. So I don't think this is the type of character that will be weak once someone gets close to you. It's more like he is stronger from the mid-range, but he can still like brawl if he wants to. Does that make sense? Spiritual pressure move 2, Oath of the Soul. For a short period of time, the attacking power of special flash attack, signature move, and guard gauge depletion increases. Also, while Oath of the Soul is in effect, special flash attack and signature move recovers from a weakened condition after Bankai is cancelled. Huh? What the hell was that second sentence? Oh, I guess we'll read the Bankai soon, but there's a way to cancel the Bankai? And you'll go into a weakened state, but if you pull off this buff, this Oath of the Soul, you negate that? That's how I'm interpreting this so far, but to fully understand it, we have to look at the Bankai. That said, yeah, it's a buff. Special Flash Attack seems to be a semi-universal type of attack. I've seen a lot of other characters with it. Signature move is the one we just talked about with the 3 attacks, and guard gauge depletion means that he's probably gonna go for some quick guard breaks. So it's dangerous to block against Renji if he is buffed up like this. But okay, let's read what the Bankai does, because if the Bankai can be cancelled, I think this is the first time. When Renji releases Bankai, he heals Zabimaru. He can use overwhelming reach and power to smash your opponent with powerful and dynamic attacks. Renji's Reishi also fully recovers when Bankai is used. Damn, back to full HP, making it easier to recover from a losing situation. However, when Bankai is cancelled after a certain period of time, or when his Reishi is cut off, his abilities will become weak. You can break his Bankai. Okay, makes a lot of sense why they would go all out with this range now. They made it overpowered on purpose because it's a temporary state. Depending on how long this lasts, it could be really strong or it could be completely useless, right? And sure, Oath of the Soul may counter that weakness state. You may have it ready to just go because you know your Bankai is gonna die, but you still lose your Bankai. You know, you still go back to being a regular character, while the opponent probably has a permanent Bankai, one that does not run out. I don't know, it's not looking good for Renji mains, I'm not gonna lie. They really made the character lore accurate. He unleashes his Bankai and then he dies. Strong reach abilities to keep opponents at bay with a powerful attack-based Bankai. And hey, I may meme a lot on Renji, but at the end of the day, he is another unique character gameplay-wise, and I'm so glad they're going this far when creating new gimmicks and like very unique character playstyles. Dude, look at the size of that Bankai. That's insane. And because we have a new character trailer every Monday, I always take 3 to 4 comments from the previous video to see where you guys are at, if you have any theories or thoughts that you want to share. So if you want to be in the next video, make sure to leave a comment right down below. From the Soi Fon video, if you give a literal insta-kill to a character as a special, I know this game just says fuck it. In a good way though, right? And it's not the first time this has happened. Even in anime games, we have a very recent example, which is Shigaraki in My Hero One's Justice. If you land this move that grabs the opponent 4 times, you insta-kill them no matter how much HP they have left. And there were some setups to make it kind of hard to dodge, but the idea is always this is a move that is not going to be easy to land. So if you get hit by this multiple times, you deserve to lose. That's how you balance a move like this. It doesn't necessarily have to be the game saying fuck it, especially because this game is actually aiming to be a balanced competitive game. It wants every character in the roster to have the same win ratio. So to me, this is the kind of fuck it that I take in a good way. Like, fuck it, let's be crazy, and we'll figure out how to balance it at the same time. Not just say fuck it, make a broken game, and then say, it's not competitive. Shunko as her awakening makes sense. That way Rebirth 2 can just give her complete Shunko as her awakening. Okay, hold up. Sometimes y'all get ahead of yourselves. By Rebirth 2, you mean Reawakening, right? Soi Fon does not have one. The reason why we know this is because if you go to the Japanese website, not immediately after a trailer comes out, but like the next day or so, they update the website with a character and show you all of their moves. And no, she does not have a Reawakening, otherwise it would be listed right here. Or you're talking about Rebirth of Souls 2, the sequel to this game, in which case, yeah, okay, I can see it. But like talking about sequels already, I think is kind of insane. Every Bandai Namco game comes out nowadays and wants to sell you DLC and a season pass and wants to stay alive for a long time, which in my opinion is a good thing. That way we get balanced patches, we get support for our game, and we get to enjoy online multiplayer for a lot longer. And I don't know how long Bleach is gonna go for, but if it goes for long enough, they might just keep releasing DLC until the end of time. Again, this is not what usually happens. Usually there is a sequel down the line, but also sometimes we get a Xenoverse 2, and that thing has had more than 10 years of DLC. At that point, I think Rebirth 2 is a little less likely. But yes, I guess since this game only goes until the end of the Aizen fight, then it would make sense to give her the incomplete Shunko, with the Bankai being the Kikon move. Her Bankai being a finishing move makes some sense, since it is a bazooka and would change her whole fighting style. So I think it makes a lot of sense. But not because it would change her whole fighting style, because we have seen that before, and I mean, we just saw that with Renji as well. This game is not shying away from giving you 2 completely different characters from when you start the game and from when you unleash your Bankai or whatever your awakening is. And we saw it with Ichigo right away. He goes from having a big sword with some slower moves to being a rushdown character with incredible speed when he unleashes his Bankai. We saw that with Byakuya, who goes from being a stance character to someone who has a lot more mid-range abilities and huge attacks with Senbon Sakura Kageyoshi. And now we see Renji just wield a gigantic weapon, like he turns into a giant character pretty much. Not him, but his Zanpakuto does. So yes, while on Soi Fon, I think it makes a lot of sense because it's not really a fighting thing, it's more of like a finishing move for sure. I don't think the reason why they would do that is because it would change her fighting style. I think it's just because they thought it would fit the character better. Giving someone who can insta-kill you an unblockable stun is crazy work. Kinda. I don't think they gave her an unblockable stun, but also they did. Let me explain. I think the concern here is that Soi Fon is going to use Hakuda and then follow that up with the insta-kill move, right? She's going to stun the opponent and then she's going to follow up with the other spiritual pressure move. Assuming she has enough meter for all of this, I don't think that's really possible. At least from what I'm reading from the description of this spiritual pressure move, Soi Fon strikes with Hakuda surrounded by Kido as a follow-up attack. The follow-up attack seems automatic, so yes, she has an unblockable stun, but if she's always going to do the follow-up attack, it's not like you can stun and then use the other move. Unless you hold down the button. Holding the input will restrain the opponent for a longer period of time. That might be the situation that stuns the opponent and then you can maybe use the insta-kill. That said, if she can hold down the input, and even though it's an unblockable move, it sure as hell is going to be slow because she has to hold it, and you get hit by that stuff twice in a match, maybe you deserve to lose. I don't know. Cut to when the game comes out, and this stuff is broken, and I'm going to eat my words. But that's gonna do it for today. If you want a chance to be in the next video, make sure to leave your thoughts or theories in the comments down below. And if you've missed Soi Fon, you can watch her right here. We break down all of her abilities just like we did for this video with Renji. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.